News today. She's broadening her horizons. He's growing his knowledge. They're searching for expert opinions. She's dying for a lively discussion. He's taking stock of the situation. She wants to dive deeper. They just need a conversation starter. Everyone's news all in one place. The papers, tonight at 10:30 and 11:30 on the BBC News Channel.
Hello, this is BBC News. I'm Victoria Derbyshire. Here are your headlines. Footage online appears to show Russian tanks driving into Ukraine's capital, Kiev, as the country fights for its future against an offensive by land, sea and air. It follows a night of airstrikes and explosions over the capital as Russian forces appear to close in. Damage in Kiev's residential neighbourhoods after reports of missile strikes and an aircraft being shot down. Families again spend the night underground for protection in Ukraine's metro stations amid warnings of further strikes.
They say that civilians are not a target. It's a lie. The reality is that they don't differentiate between which areas to attack.
Thousands continue to escape from the capital, many heading for Ukraine's western borders. Russia bans all British airlines from its airports and airspace, following the UK decision to ban Russia's national airline Aeroflot from Britain. And European governing body for football, UEFA, moves this year's Champions League final from St. Petersburg to Paris. Hello and welcome, whether you're watching in the UK or around the world. The Ukrainian capital of Kiev is under fire as Russian troops continue their advance into the country. Officials said Russian forces have already reached the north of the city, where air raid sirens sounded overnight as residents took shelter in metro stations and basements. This is video from social media this morning, and it appears to show Russian tanks driving through a residential district called Ummmm to the north of the city centre. We've seen pictures of what looks to be a plane wreckage after a Russian aircraft was reportedly shot down over Kiev last night. Several people are said to be injured. There have been explosions reported across the country, including in Ukraine's second biggest city, Kharkiv, in the northeast, where there's been heavy fighting. Martial law has been imposed across Ukraine, and men aged 18 to 60 barred from leaving the country. More than 100,000 people are thought to have left their homes seeking safety. Russia claims it has destroyed 80 military sites in the first wave of its attack. The UK's Defence Secretary Ben Wallace, though, says around 450 Russian troops have actually been killed. President Zelensky has pleaded to the international community to do more and appealed to Russia for a ceasefire. He also said he would not leave Kiev, even though he is a target. Jonah Fisher has the latest.
This was the night after the day when everything changed for Ukraine and for Europe. Explosions above the capital, Kiev, a city of 3 million under attack, but fighting back. Air defences appear to have shot something, possibly a missile, down. The morning light shows damage to an apartment block where the debris fell. Safety now means going underground, metro stations becoming bomb shelters as Russia turns on its neighbour. Ukraine is on its own, President Zelensky warned. At 4 a.m, the Russian forces struck Ukrainian territory with rockets, he said. They say that civilians are not a target. It's a lie. The reality is that they don't differentiate between which areas to attack. On Thursday, the full force of the Russian military was unleashed. From the air came planes, helicopters and missile strikes. On the ground, tanks rolled across the borders to the north and to the south. From occupied Crimea, seized 8 years ago, Russia gained ground, as it did advancing from Belarus. The site of the Chernobyl nuclear disaster has now changed hands. Crucially, an attempt at a lightning strike on Kiev appears to have been thwarted. An airstrip just outside the capital was captured by Russians arriving by helicopter, then taken back in fighting by Ukrainians later in the day. Having long believed that this was unthinkable, the streets heading west out of Kiev quickly filled with people desperately trying to leave. They may soon be crossing into the European Union. Spurned by NATO and under attack from the north, south and east, how long can Ukraine hold out? Jonah Fisher, BBC News.